He was not searching for Islam. He was trying to destroy it. For 3 years, he studied every argument against Islam he could find. He read the critics. He debated Muslims online. He was certain, absolutely certain, that he would find the flaw that would disprove it all. He never found the flaw. Instead, one quiet evening, alone in his room, he said the Shahada. This is his story. Who was he? His name was Michael. He grew up in the United States. Not a bad person, not an angry person, but a man who was deeply, genuinely convinced that Islam was dangerous. He had grown up hearing the same stories many people in the West hear. He saw the news. He heard the debates. And at university, surrounded by people of all backgrounds, he decided, someone needs to take this apart properly. So he started reading. He started with the critics of Islam, the ex-Muslims, the philosophers, the historians who said the Quran had contradictions. He took notes. He built arguments. He was thorough. He was serious. And here is what is remarkable. He was not hateful. He genuinely believed he was doing the world a service. He thought, if I can show clearly that Islam is false, maybe fewer people will follow a dangerous path. Subhanallah. This is how Allah works. Because Michael had no idea that in trying to disprove Islam, he was about to learn more about it than most Muslims ever do. What he discovered? He started with the Quran. He had heard it was full of contradictions. So he sat down, with a critical eye, with every argument he had found online, and he read it. And something strange happened. He couldn't find the contradictions. He tried. He looked at the verses critics quoted. He looked at the context. He read the Arabic commentary. And again, he found that the contradictions he had been shown were not contradictions at all. They were misquotes. They were verses taken out of context. They were mistranslations. This made him more suspicious. How could a book written 1,400 years ago by a man in the desert, according to the critics, be so consistent, so precise? Then he came across something that stopped him completely. The Quran's description of embryonic development. Brothers and sisters, in Surah Al-Mu'minin, Allah describes the stages of human creation in the womb. A clot, then a lump of flesh, then bones, then the bones are clothed with flesh. This was only confirmed by modern science in the 20th century. The Quran described it in the 7th century. Michael sat at his desk and stared at his screen. He had no answer for this. He told himself, it must be a coincidence. He kept reading. The coincidences kept coming. He could not deny it. Over the next several months, Michael went deeper. He studied the preservation of the Quran, how it was memorized by thousands, how not a single letter had changed in over 1,400 years. He studied the life of the Prophet Muhammad, a man who, even his enemies admitted, had never once been caught in a lie. He studied Islam's answers to the questions that had always troubled him, questions about the purpose of life, about suffering, about what happens after death. And for every question, Islam had an answer that was not just emotionally satisfying, it was logical. Then one night, Michael was watching a debate online. A Muslim scholar was being challenged by an atheist philosopher, and the philosopher asked, "How can you believe in a God you cannot see?" And the scholar said, "You believe in gravity. You cannot see gravity. You see only its effects. We see the effects of Allah everywhere we look, in the design of the universe, in the miracle of life, in the fact that you are asking this question right now." Michael closed his laptop. He said later, "That was the moment. I realized I had been holding Islam to a standard I never applied to my own beliefs. I had been dishonest, not with Islam, but with myself. Brothers and sisters, this is what sincere seeking does. The Prophet said, 'Whoever seeks guidance, Allah will guide them.'" Michael was seeking, even if he didn't know it, and Allah guided him. The night he said the Shahada. It was a Tuesday night. Michael was alone. He had not told anyone what he was feeling. He knew the moment he said those words, his life would change completely. His family, his friends, everything he had known. He sat on the floor of his apartment. He said later, "Was scared, but I felt something I cannot explain, like something was pulling me, like the decision had already been made, and I was just catching up to it." And he said, "Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger." And he wept, not from sadness, from relief. from the feeling that after 3 years of fighting, he had finally come home. What this teaches us, brothers and sisters, Michael's story teaches us something powerful about the nature of truth. The Quran does not ask us to follow blindly. Allah says in Surah Al-Baqarah, "There is no compulsion in religion. The right path has been made clear from the wrong." 2:256. Islam invites questioning. It invites investigation. It invites exactly what Michael did: serious, honest, critical study. Because Allah knows that the truth can withstand scrutiny. The people who fear questions are those who fear the answers. And for those of us who do dawah, Michael's story is a reminder. We do not guide hearts. Allah guides hearts. Our job is simply to share the truth with sincerity and with kindness. The rest belongs to Allah. If Michael's story moved you, imagine how many people right now are sitting somewhere in the world asking the same questions he asked, searching just like he searched. All they need is someone to share the truth with them. May Allah make us those people. If this story touched your heart, share it. You never know who needs to hear it. A share from you could be the reason someone finds Islam. Subscribe to Radiant Dreams TV. We share stories like this every week, because every Revert story is a reminder that Allah's mercy has no limit. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.